Number 8, the strategic procrastinator. You have a massive project due in a week, but your brain refuses to start. Instead, you're wasting time playing video games, watching Netflix, and filling your time with unrelated tasks. You feel guilty, calling it laziness. But this isn't just procrastination, it's incubation. What you think is laziness is actually a high level cognitive process. And by consciously stepping away from the main problem, you are giving your subconscious mind permission to work on it. While you're busy with other things, your brain is making novel connections and finding creative solutions. That aha moment you have in the shower 2 days later isn't a miracle. It's the result of you giving the smartest part of your brain the space it needed to work. You weren't ignoring the problem, you were letting the smartest part of your brain solve it for you. Number 7, the messy desk. Your desk is a war zone of coffee cups, old notes, and 3 different projects piled on top of each other. You call it a mess and you feel a little ashamed, but this isn't just chaos. It's a sign of a highly associative brain. A famous study from the University of Minnesota found that while a clean desk promotes safe and conventional behavior, a messy environment actively boosts creative thinking and the generation of new ideas. A rigid, clean desk is for linear, step-by-step tasks. A messy desk is the physical map of a mind that's making connections between tasks. You're not disorganized. You're a divergent thinker thriving in an environment that sparks novel connections. Number 6, the creative daydreamer. You're in a meeting at work. You're physically there, but mentally you're somewhere else. You're not just staring at the wall, you're building a new business, composing a song, or replaying a conversation. You snap back and feel guilty for zoning out. But you weren't zoning out, you were actually zoning in. This isn't a lack of focus. This is your brain's creative engine, the default mode network. This state of mind wandering is a hallmark of genius, a time when your brain is consolidating memories, connecting the dots, and running complex simulations. That lazy daydream is your cognitive superpower, a private R&D lab where innovation and ideas are born. Number 5, the Nap Addict. It's 2 p.m. and you're hitting a wall. You don't just power through, you give in and take a 20-minute nap. You call it a guilty pleasure. Others might call it laziness, but it's a strategic act of cognitive efficiency. Some of the greatest minds in history, from Einstein to Edison, were religious nappers. Research from NASA found that a 26-minute pilot nap improved performance by 34% and alertness by 54%. That nap isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategic reboot. It's your brain's way of clearing its cache, consolidating memories, and dramatically improving its problem-solving ability for the rest of the day. Number 4, the night owl. You do your most brilliant, creative, world-changing work at 2 a.m. Your brain feels on. You're in the zone just as the rest of the world is shutting down. You call yourself bad with schedules. But this could be a sign of a different chronotype. Research has linked this night owl preference to higher scores on measures of creativity, intelligence, and even a strategic risk-taking entrepreneurial spirit. You're not lazy for struggling with the 9 to 5. Your brain is simply optimized for a different part of the day, a time with fewer distractions, allowing for the kind of innovative and out-of-the-box thinking that the morning larks are sleeping through. Number 3, the quitter. You have a habit of starting a hobby, getting really into it for 6 months, and then dropping it completely to start something new. You feel like a flake, a person that is unable to commit. But this isn't a lack of discipline. It's a sign of a polymath or a multi-potentialite. Your brain is driven by a ravenous, insatiable curiosity. You're not quitting because you're lazy. You're quitting because you've mastered the part that interested you, and your brain craves the steep learning curve of a new challenge. You're not a jack of all trades, master of none. You're a specialist in the art of learning. Number 2, the stimulating doodler. You're sitting in a long, important meeting. The information is dense, and you find yourself filling the margins of your notebook with intricate patterns, shapes, and cartoons. It feels like the ultimate sign of disrespect. And it probably looks like you are not paying attention, but this isn't a distraction. It's a focusing tool. Your brain has 2 speeds: the slow, deep processing of the task at hand, and the hyperactive, restless speed of your default mode network. When you are forced to listen to a slow, monotonous presentation, your brain gets bored and begins seeking stimulation. If you fight that boredom, you lose focus entirely. Doodling is the brilliant and strategic compromise. A famous 2009 study found that participants who doodled while listening to a boring message recalled 29% more information than those who didn't. Doodling isn't zoning out. It's an act of cognitive scaffolding. It provides just enough simple, visual, and physical stimulation to occupy your brain's restless parts. Paradoxically, this prevents your mind from seeking out larger, catastrophic distractions, which allows your primary auditory processing centers to focus more intently on the boring meeting. It is the ultimate productivity hack disguised as laziness. Number 1, the blatant time waster. You are not just procrastinating, you are actively wasting time playing an instrument, walking in the woods, or just staring blankly at the ceiling. You call it doing nothing. But this is the most crucial habit of all. This is intentional cognitive rest. In our hustle culture, any minute not spent producing is seen as lazy. It is framed as a moral failure. But your brain requires this downtime. When you are staring at the ceiling, you are not actually resting. You are engaging in a state known as unconscious processing. During this state, your mind is not actively trying to solve a problem. Instead, your subconscious is taking all the scattered information you've gathered and silently playing matchmaker with those concepts. This is why creative breakthroughs often happen in the shower, on a walk, or right before you fall asleep. This laziness is a sign of a genius who intuitively understands that creativity, insight, and innovation are not manufactured by endless hustle. They are harvested from a mind that has been given the luxurious and essential gift of rest. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, bro. Like and subscribe to see more.